Hey, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today's episode is a unique adventure where Boomer and I are out with the Jeep for the very first time on the channel. If you guys follow me on Patreon, you guys would have noticed that I was building a Jeep project. And here is that project. If you guys are not aware of Patreon, because I've never mentioned it before, the link is down in the description. If you want to help support the channel, please feel free to. If not, simply kick back and enjoy the video. So today it is cold, it is cloudy, it is raining, and there's even snow in the forecast. And it's almost the middle of May. So I brought a hot tent, I brought loads of gear. The tent is set up, the stove is set up, but the sleeping arrangement is not done. Before I do that, I want to take advantage of this non-rainy weather currently and start on a hot coffee. And then if it opens up, I can run and go collect wood quickly and finish the inside of the tent. So let's start on a hot drink. All right, guys, coffee break all finished up. It is now time to go and collect some firewood, and then I'm going to set up the rest of the furniture inside of the tent. Reason being, as I was standing here drinking coffee, it actually spit with rain and ice and a little bit of snow. There are big pockets of clouds moving around up top right now, so once another pocket of clouds really rolls in, I think it's going to do it again. And looking off in the distance, there's a lot of those on the way. So I'm going to get taking care of some of this firewood. Got my hearing protection because this thing is crazy loud. Boomer absolutely hates it, so he'll probably run around and bark like a lunatic. But I do have some dead trees way off in front of the Jeep, way off in front of the tent on the trail coming in here. So we're gonna head over there, cut some of those trees up. Hopefully they're not too green. Drag them back over here in log form, buck them up, split them, get them inside of the tent, and then carry on with the furniture. So let's go take a little walk and grab some firewood. All right guys, I've got a fair bit of firewood cut, split, and inside of the tent. Normally I'd be really happy about that. Unfortunately, the wood that I collected is a little bit green and it is wet because it poured with rain all day yesterday and a little bit this morning. However, it will dry out and it will burn later on once it gets time to sit next to the wood stove after it's burning. So what I'm going to do to get the stove burning is use this stuff. So this is all extremely dry, dead twig material, branches that were off of that tree. This stuff is ready to go. The problem with it is it burns like an inferno. Very, very hot. So you got to manage the stove a little bit more, but it will get the tent nice and hot. It'll get that wood really dried out, and then eventually switch over to the logs that I've been processing and go from there. So I'm going to break a lot of the small stuff by hand, and then the thicker stuff like this, I'm just going to set on the stump, chop it up, and then get it in the tent right next to the stove. And then get on to lighting a fire to start this drying out process, because it's likely going to be probably about 2 to 3 hours of heat to burn out some of those pieces of moisture and have them dry enough that they'll actually burn. So I'm just going to keep on processing some firewood here. I am getting rained on a tiny bit off and on, but so far so good. Boomer's going to steal firewood like he always does, and we're just going to get this all finished up and then get the furniture set up inside the tent, and like I said, get that stove burning. So a little bit more work. All right, everybody, things in the tent are starting to look fairly comfortable. I've got the cot set up on this side directly across from the wood stove. It's going to come a little bit closer later on. Come on. But right now, I need the space to walk around. So later this evening, I'll pull the bed into the middle. That way I can reach out and load the wood stove from the bed. So we've got the cot set up over there with a pad and a down bag. I've got the table set up right on that side of the tent, which is next to the wood stove, so I can transition from cutting and food prep into cooking. Got my chair over here. Of course, I can move wherever I like. I've got the front door wide open, looking off into the forest. I've got the door right where the camera is, looking at the Jeep. And I think this is going to work really well. Now, the temperatures are starting to come down. So Boomer is actually getting a little bit cold. He was snuggled up in the sleeping bag, and I could feel the cold air starting to get at my ears right now. We're rolling into the middle of May, and it is snowing off and on. So we're going to get this wood stove going right now. I may have to close one of these doors. I'm not too sure. Probably that door. Leave this one open. That'll stop the cross breeze from going through. But we are going to get that stove lit and get this tent nice and warm and start the process of drying out some of this wet wood. So let's get a fire on the go. Alright guys, now that the stove is burning really nice and hot and I can actually feel the temperature rising in the tent even with both of these doors wide open. So I'm going to leave them open for as long as possible, but once I start to feel that cold air really setting in, then it's going to be time to close it. I do have a couple of pieces of wet wood up here. It is drying extremely quick. Like that is ready to burn right now. This guy would definitely burn as well. Underneath there's a load of wood. And some of these bigger pieces drying out really nicely, so no worries about this stuff going to burn. It definitely will burn tonight for sure, 100%. So with that going, it is now getting later in the evening and I do need to start on supper. So I'm going to get some stuff out on top of the table and start cooking up a hot meal. All right, guys, supper's ready, and it is too nice out here. A sunset happening in the background, crackling wood stove, and if you guys listen, there are a couple songbirds bouncing around in the trees right now, which is pretty awesome. So, hot dinner ready to go. I've got rice, onion, spinach, mushroom, cherry tomato, and Indian style mix for sauce. I made it more like a rice soup, which is going to be really, really good. Boomer just had his food and water, and I also have a couple of these Indian nutcracker coated peanuts. So these are spicy peanuts. Boomer can't have any, but he can hear the crinkling bag and he thinks it's a treat, but it's not. And it will definitely not go so well if he eats it. So he's not having any, but I'm gonna put a few in my dinner. Push the bag up so he can't get at it. And enjoy supper outside of the tent this evening. Nice, no rain yet, no snow, seems to be holding off, so I'm gonna chill out outside, enjoy some supper. All right, guys, supper's all finished up. Sunset was incredible, and it is actually quite cold out right now. The fire is super nice and warm, and we're getting very comfortable in here. However, one thing did not happen, and I'm very disappointed. It did not rain or snow like the weatherman said. So I'm a little disappointed in that, but it is still cold, and there are plenty of clouds still up in the sky, so who knows, something might happen overnight. Fingers crossed. It'd be pretty awesome to wake up in snow one more time before summer. Last adventure with the hot tent hiking in, woke up in snow, was pretty awesome. So I'm hoping this trip will get some snow. But for now, I think we are going to probably toss in 1 or 2 logs, get some really big logs up top and get those dried out. So that way we can start feeding in some larger pieces and relax inside of the tent. So I'm going to be getting changed out of these clothes, changed into some sweatpants and a long sleeve shirt. I think Boomer's going to crash out either on the bed or probably right here in front of the wood stove. And basically just going to chill out. So we will catch up with you guys first thing in the morning for coffee. Good night, everybody. Good morning, everybody. It is a very, very bright and somewhat warm morning out here today. And wouldn't you know it, the weatherman was not correct. It's a good thing they don't get paid to be right. They just get paid to make wild predictions, because this does not look like rain or snow. Now, granted, yesterday we did get maybe 5 snowflakes that hit the Jeep while I was making coffee. So, I don't know. But it is a very sunny morning out today. Geese are flying in the background. There are all kinds of birds chirping this morning, and it is unfortunately not the quietest area, as it is very sunny and there are a lot of people out. So I can hear dogs, chainsaws, four-wheelers, trucks, all kinds of things. So I got a feeling a lot of people are going to be coming up here today, and I'm going to be heading out, which is perfect because I don't like crowds. So tent was really, really nice last night. Super warm. The wood stove's burning right now. I brought a cot that was low to the ground instead of being tall with extended legs on purpose, because I knew the temperatures were not going to get that cold, and I didn't want to be up in the heat channel. I wanted to be down right where it was nice and cool. So very good choice on that. Slept really good. Boomer slept great too. He actually slept on the cot for a little bit, and then he just went over to the wood stove and basically just sprawled out and slept there all night. We have a ton of firewood left in there, as we did not need to burn it all, but it is all dry. So I may stash it in the woods up here, and maybe when I come back up here with a different setup, a different system in mind, it'll be there for me to use. But until then, I'm gonna have to plan another trip. So morning coffee, cheers guys. Let's kick back and enjoy this. Let that stove burn out and then start to pack up. All right guys, we've got everything totally packed up inside of the Jeep, and it is getting crazy warm out. So I've got to get these sweatpants off, sweater off, hat off, and get into something more fitting for the weather today, as there is no snow, obviously. So Boomer and I are going to start making our tracks out of here, and we will catch you guys in the next adventure. So peace out everybody. See you next time.